everyone, it's Mrs. Lee here again. So I'm reading you another bedtime story. I'm reading you The Owl Who Was Afraid of the Dark. It's a lovely story, and it's one that children who have been in my class before will have heard me read. So I hope you have got your pyjamas on and you're tucked up in bed. I've got my pyjamas on and my dressing gown, and enjoy the story. So it's written by Jill Tomlinson and illustrated by Phil Howard. And the blurb says, Plop is a baby barn owl. He's the same as every barn owl that has ever been, except for one thing. He's afraid of the dark. It's not good to be an owl that's afraid of the dark, is it? And this book was bought with the money of one of the sponsored bedtime reads that school did quite a lot of years ago. He's not called Pop. Plop. Plop was a baby barn owl. He lived with his mummy and his daddy at the top of a tall tree. Plop was the same as every other barn owl, except for one thing. He was afraid of the dark. And there he is, there's a picture of Plop. I don't want to be a night bird, Plop told Mummy. The dark is nasty. You don't know that, she said. You better find out about the dark before you make your mind up. Look, there's a little boy down there. Go and ask him. So Plop, who was quite new to flying, took a deep breath and flew down. Oh, cried the little boy as Plop landed with a somersault. Hello, said Plop. I've come to find out about the dark. Oh, said the boy, the dark's exciting. Especially tonight, we're going to have fireworks. Oh, does it have to be dark? Asked Plop. Of course, replied the boy. You can't see the fireworks unless it's dark. Look out for them later. Well, said Mrs. Barn Owl when Plop arrived back at the nest. Well, the little boy says that dark's exciting, says Plop. But I still don't like it at all. But I will watch the fireworks if you sit by me. Well, we'll sit by you, said Mummy and Daddy. So that is what they did. When the very last firework had faded away, Mr. Barn Owl went hunting. All night he brought food back to Plop until daylight came and it was time for bed. Halfway through the morning, Plop woke up. Mrs. Barn Owl opened her bleary eyes. Plop, dear, she said, why don't you find out some more about the dark? Go and ask that old lady, the one in the deck chair. Plop landed with a thump. Hello, he said, I've come to ask you about the dark. I want to go hunting with Daddy, but he always goes hunting in the dark and I'm afraid of it. How very odd, said the lady. Now, I love the dark. Dark is kind. I can forget that I'm old and I can sit and remember all the good times. Oh, I haven't got that much to remember yet, said Plop. I'm rather new, you see. Well, said his mummy when he flew back up to the landing branch. Well, the old lady says that dark is kind, said Plop, but I still don't like it at all. That evening, when both his parents went hunting, Plop closed his eyes. And he tried to remember something to remember. Suddenly he heard a happy shout, and Plop forgot about being afraid of the dark. He peered through the leaves and he saw a boy sitting by a fire. Plop flew down, landing with an enormous thud. Hello, said Plop. I've come to see what's going on. I'm guarding the campfire, said the boy. The others have gone to play games in the dark, they're lucky things. Do you like the dark? Asked Plop. Oh, it's super, the boy replied. Dark is fun. We're going to make cocoa and we're going to sing around the flat fire. Would you like to stay? So Plop stayed. The boys sang until the fire had sunk and it was a red glow. Then Plop said goodbye and he flew home. Well, said his mummy, where have you been? I met a boy And he says that dark is fun. I still don't like it at all, but I think the campfires are super. Plop woke up the next afternoon and he went out onto the landing branch. Plop, said Mrs. Barn Owl, go and find out about the dark again and see what the little girl down there thinks about it. You can see there's Plop with the two boys at the campfire. Plop landed by this little girl. He landed with a bounce. Hello, he said. I've come to ask about the dark. Do you like it? Of course I do, she replied. Dark is necessary. Without the dark, Father Christmas wouldn't come. You'd have an empty stocking on Christmas Day. Well, I don't have a stocking, said Plop. So the little girl took off her Wellington and she gave him her sock. Here, she said, hang this up on Christmas Eve. Oh, thank you, said Plop, and he returned to his mummy. Well, said Mrs. Barn Owl, well, the little girl says that dark is necessary because of Father Christmas coming. But I still do not like it at all. But I am going to hang up my stocking on Christmas Eve. Plop spent nearly all day sleeping. But by the evening, he was wide awake. It's getting up time, Daddy, he said while he was butting his father in the tummy. Mr. Barn Owl looked up at the sky. Not quite yet, Plop, it isn't. You have to wait until it's dark. That night, Plop watched his parents take off to go hunting again. Looking through the leaves, he saw a man standing on the ground below. So Plop flew down and he landed with a gentle bump. Heavens, cried the man. You startled me. Hello, said Plop. What have you got there? Well, it's a telescope, said the man. It's for looking at stars and planets at night. I don't really like the dark very much, said Plop. Really, said the man, but dark is wonderful. I'll show you. The man with the telescope showed Plop lots of stars and how they made patterns in the sky, and he pointed out the bright pole star, the plough, the dog star, the Orion Great Hunter. Plop said thank you and he flew off back to his mummy and daddy. A man with a telescope showed me the stars, Plop told them. He says that dark is wonderful. That morning, Plop had his supper in bed and then, like a real night bird, he slept right through the day. When Plop woke, it was almost dark. Now, who's a day bird? He shouted at the darkness. Plop looked at his sleepy parents. He wasn't going to hang about waiting for them. He might be missing something. There he is. Plop floated down and he landed like a soft white feather under a tree. He saw a big black cat. Hello, said the cat. I was just going exploring. Won't you come with me? Well, I would like to, I think, said Plop, but I'm afraid of the dark. But dark is beautiful, said the cat. Look around you. Plop looked. The moon had risen. Everything was bathed in white light. Moonlight is magic, said the cat. Come with me. I'll show you. I'll show you the nighttime world of cats and owls. Will you come? Yes, I will, said Plop. The cat took Plop up to the rooftops and they looked down over the sleeping town. This is my world, said Plop. I'm a night bird after all. And this is only the one sort of night, said the cat. There are lots of other kinds. They're all beautiful. Thank you for showing me, said Plop. I must go now and tell my mummy and daddy. Well, good night, said the black cat. And many, many good nights. And there he is, the little black cat. Plop flew straight back to his tree. Well, said his mummy. Pop, called him Pop again. Plop took a deep breath. The small boy said dark is exciting. The old lady said dark is kind. The campfire boy said dark is fun. And the little girl said dark is necessary. The man with the telescope said dark is wonderful. And the black cat said that dark is beautiful. And what do you think, Plop? Asked his mummy. Plop looked up at his parents with twinkling eyes. I think, he said, I think dark is super. Then Plop took off to go hunting in the dark. Mr. and Mrs. Barn Owl on each side, and Plop in the middle. And it says, Plop, the night bird. I wonder if you could think of some words, words that haven't been mentioned in the story that describe darkness. I'm sure you'll come up with some fantastic ones. And if you'd like to share them with me tomorrow, that would be super. So night night, everyone. Sleep well, and we'll see you all soon. Take care. Bye.